For 10 years, every time GoPro dropped a new camera, I asked the same question: is this finally the one? The one with a real sensor upgrade, a real hardware leap?
This year, the answer is finally yes. The GoPro Mission 1 has a 1-inch sensor. And before I tell you anything else, you need to see what that actually looks like. That was 960 frames per second. That is almost 1000 frames per second inside a camera you can mount to your helmet. This video is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to show you as much real footage from this camera as I possibly can. Slow motion, drone, low light, log, sports, everything. Let's go.
They also changed the default color science. Vibrant is still here for that classic GoPro look, but now natural is the default, and there's a new cinematic mode that feels softer, more filmic.
Okay, slow motion. This is the thing I've been waiting my entire YouTube career for. 960 frames per second, real 960, not interpolated, not frame blended, actual captured frames.
If you need quality and slow-mo together, go 4K 240 FPS. It's continuous recording, still sharp, still clean, still 10-bit log. You just lose the open gate 4:3 aspect ratio at that speed. At 24 frames per second playback, that's 40 times slow motion. 10 seconds of recording becomes 6 minutes and 40 seconds of footage. One burst, nearly 7 minutes of slow-mo.
The 1-inch sensor is bigger than anything GoPro has ever put in an action camera, and you feel it immediately in dynamic range. Highlights hold, shadows lift, it just looks better. And then there's GoPro Log 2, super flat, maximum dynamic range. If you know how to grade, this is where the Mission 1 really starts to shine. It holds a crazy amount of information.
But fair warning, if you're not comfortable color grading, skip Log 2. Your shots will come out looking underexposed. That's the camera protecting highlights, not broken, but you need to know going in. The catch is you only get it in a 10-second burst mode. So plant the camera, hit record at the right moment, and ride. It takes some planning, but the results are insane.
You're shooting 1080p in this mode and can't use 10-bit log. Settings are limited. There's noise and backlit shadows. But for almost 1000 frames per second, this is phenomenal. Someone asked if it's good for FPV. I shot this at 4K 120 from a drone flyover. With a color grade on it, I genuinely could not believe this came out of an action camera.
Is it the color grade doing the work? Some of it, yeah, but pull it back to flat and it still holds up. The sensor is doing the real lifting here. The grade just finishes the job.
Alright, the comparison everyone actually wants. GoPro Mission 1 versus DJI Action 6 versus iPhone. Same location, same light, same moment. Let's see what happens.
In daylight, honestly, all three do a solid job. But as soon as the light drops, the iPhone starts dragging its shutter to hold exposure, and motion blur creeps in everywhere.
The DJI keeps the shutter tight but compensates with gain, and you pay for it in noise and lost sharpness. Punch into any DJI clip and you'll see it smearing. The Mission 1 stays the cleanest.
Low light is where DJI fights back. Its variable aperture opens to f2.0, that pulls in more light. In complete darkness, the faster lens wins. Hats off to DJI, that is genuinely impressive.
As a sports camera on a mountain bike, it's slightly bigger and heavier than older GoPros, but I genuinely stopped noticing the weight. What I couldn't stop noticing was how much better the footage looked. The necklace mount with the 2 stabilizing straps was the move. Without them, it flops everywhere. With them, it locks at 90 or 180 degrees and stays put no matter how rough the terrain gets. And GoPro stabilization continues to be best in class. Frame by frame on rough terrain, the Mission 1 smooths out what the other cameras just rattle through. It's not close.
Battery. In endurance mode at 1080p 30, I drove to Denver and filmed the entire thing. 4 hours 49 minutes on one charge. Nearly 5 hours of real-world recording.
Least favorite things. The file naming system still splits long recordings and buries the second half alphabetically. And the new buttons feel great, but I keep accidentally switching modes mid-ride.
But the pros absolutely crush the cons. 1-inch sensor, 960 frames per second, nearly 5-hour battery, best stabilization in the category, swappable lens. GoPro executed on all of it.
I stayed up all night editing this. Watched the sun come up. Is it worth it? Yeah, because this is the GoPro I've been waiting 10 years for, and it was absolutely worth the wait.